Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Meg's Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and to today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm back doing my 52-week movie challenge thing, and I did the whole random number generator thing. So yes, you all know what these videos are about. So I'm not going to repeat myself. So today's challenge is number 52, the one right at the end of the book. And that is a film released in the decade you were born. Now, I really wanted to do this one during August, but then never got a chance to. So then, funnily enough, of course, I get to do it in September. But then I also thought, why not do it around my guilty pleasure list as well? So there's one film on that guilty pleasure list that came out in the 90s that I really wanted to talk about, because not only that, but this is the movie that inspired the TV show that was so popular and is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. I thought I have to review this film on the channel. I have to. I will review the TV series at some point when I give it another rewatch all the way through. I might review it season by season and might do a ranking of the episodes as well. But today, if you haven't figured it out yet, I am reviewing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yes! So this came out in 92, I believe? Yeah, 1992. So this is the original film. So this is the film that got the TV show made, basically. So if you haven't watched the TV show or even seen the film, I'll just give you a very basic plot summary. You have Buffy. She's this teenage girl who's basically got this destiny of being a vampire slayer. So she's got this guy played by Donald Sutherland, who's her watcher, and he basically trains her to hunt vampires and save the world. There's this great big speech in the Buffy TV series, which is a fun and amazing speech. But yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of the film. I won't say any more than that because I do try and stay as spoiler-free as possible. But yeah, I thought I finally have to talk about this film. Not just because of the fact of it started off a TV series that I love, but also because this is a cheesy, guilty pleasure movie. If you want a vampire film that's cheesy, weird, out of the ordinary, and you want a weird, good laugh, this is one I'd recommend. So yes, so the only reason why I watched this film is because, like I said, I loved the TV show. So at one point, I think it was a good 5 years ago, something like that. I think it was like 4 years ago, something like that. I decided to finally watch the film that got the TV show made, because this was also written by Joss Whedon, who also did the TV show. And I thought, I'll give it a watch. I've heard nothing but bad things, so I'm not going to go in there thinking, oh, I'm going to enjoy this film. I'm just going to go into it going, what's similar to this, to the TV show? Like, what did they take from this into the TV show? Things like that. I actually ended up enjoying this more than I thought I would, and hence why it's a guilty pleasure film, because I know not a lot of people are a massive fan of this. I know this has got quite a cult following now, because obviously the TV show and things. But I just love it for the weirdness of it. You've got Christy Swanson playing Buffy. You've got Luke Perry from Riverdale, as I know him from, who plays Pike, who I think in the TV show is Spike. I think that's where the inspiration kind of came from, just because of similar names, similar fashion sense, similar attitude. So it's sort of like, he was sort of like the tamed version of Spike from TV show. And then you got Donald Sutherland as the Watcher. Merrick, I think is the name. Yeah, Merrick. And then obviously you got a load of side characters, and they were enjoyable side characters. But because this is a 90s teen film, they were the annoying 90s teen characters. So it was sort of like the popular kids and the over-the-topness and things like that. But you get past it because it's just such a weird film, and you're just enjoying how weird it is. So there's no definitive form of vampires. There's been so many different versions of vampires all over the place. I mean, in this one, they don't dust, nothing like that. Whereas things in like Buffy, they dust. In Vampire Diaries, they have daylight rings. Bloody Twilight has the freaking sparkling thing, you know. So there's no definitive form of vampire, but these are a little bit odd, just for the simple fact of, for some reason, they decided to give them pointy ears. Like, that's the weirdest part for me. But my only gripes with this film is that some of the lines in this film just don't work. They are just such random lines. I mean, there's a lot of swearing near the end from the bad guy, who's kind of like the Master in a sense. Yeah, just a weirder version of him. He's the villain in the first series of the TV series. But it's not just that as well, it's just it can come across as a bit too much at times. So you got Paul Rubens in this film, which I didn't even realise he was one of the characters in this. I just know him as Pee-wee. Okay, and there's one scene with him where he goes a little bit too over the top, in my opinion. It's funny, but at the same time, they could have cut it a little bit short. But the fight scenes are fun. The sound effects are a little bit odd. Like when Buffy does a whole bunch of flips, it's got that weird flipping sound. And at one point, it sounds like it's a bit out of sync. Maybe that's just me. But also the weird thing is that with this, it's connected to us women and our PMSing, as they say. Basically, she can sense vampires by her cramps, basically. So this is what I mean by this is a very odd vampire film. I mean, I know there's been parodies of vampire films before. I mean, you got Vampires Suck, that's one of them. But you wouldn't think so for this. Like, when I watched the trailer for this film for the first time, I thought, it looks a bit odd, but fun. And then also you get more details throughout the film, and it's like, nope, this is weirder than I thought it was going to be. But no, this is still a really good time. It is enjoyable. It is definitely 90s cheese because, I'd say, it's a bit dated now, but it's a good kind of dated where you feel nostalgic just because of the effects, the comedy, things like that. This is definitely a 90s movie, without a doubt. But no, this has become one of my favourite vampire films. It's not in, like, the very top, because things like Fright Night take the top spot. But it does come close. I reckon it would probably be top 5, maybe top 10. Just because it's just a fun little movie. It is an oddball movie. If you want your cheesy, over-the-top, weird... You just want a unique sort of film in the sense of... You just want that odd film in the evening where you're like, I feel like watching a weird film. This is definitely one I'd recommend. You probably would only watch it once. But what I will say is, watch the TV show at least, because I think the TV show is absolutely amazing from start to finish. I will do a full review of the TV series because it's something I've wanted to talk about for some time on my channel, because Buffy, because of Fright Night, I really got into vampires, but it was Buffy the TV series that got me full on into vampires. So thanks to this film, if this film hadn't been done, we wouldn't have got the TV series. So thank you for getting this film done. As much as it was a backlash on so many things, it still is a thank you for this film. Oh, and I forgot to say that the reason why this film was made is because Joss Whedon had the idea of, what if that blonde character that always dies at the beginning of the film doesn't? What if they survived? What if they were the hero of the film? That's why I like the film and the TV series, because it did something different. A bit weird, especially with the film, but it did something different, and I really like that. So that's why I had to talk about this film. As soon as that challenge came up, I knew this was what I had to do. Plus, I was still in my guilty pleasure mood, so I had to choose this one. So yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, a very odd movie, but a very fun one at that, for me at least. So my score for this film, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Really enjoyable, really fun time, and I always look forward to returning to this film every so often. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this review and this challenge of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like I said, I will do the TV series. I'll review each season. I might even do a ranking of the episodes. just because it is one of my absolute favourite TV shows of all time, and one I've always wanted to talk about but never got round to. So yes, once I start watching the TV show, I'll then do a review for it. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments and thoughts on Buffy, whether that's the film or the TV series. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.